let's do this LeetCode is subsequence. This is a fun one, and we're doing it in Java first. Given two strings, s and t, we want to return true if s is a subsequence of t, which is the full string, or false otherwise. A subsequence of a string is a new string, and it's formed from the original string by deleting some, or it can be the entire string, of characters without disturbing the relative positions of the remaining characters. So you can see that we have an example here. ACE or ACE is a subsequence of whatever we have here, A, B, C, D, E, E. I think I just said two E's, but one E, and we have A, C, and E. ACE is a substring of this. So this is what we're going to check for. Now I'm going to do this with a for loop. And the reason why I'm going to do a for loop is because we need to examine every single character inside of this string t right here. So let's do a for. We're going to have int, and we'll say t.a, and this is going to be what's incrementing based on our t. We're going to set it equal to 0. We're also going to have an s.a, and this is also going to be incrementing, set equal to 0. And the reason why they need to increment separately is because they're two separate words. Even if one's a substring of the other word, there's two separate words. So we need to examine this entire string until we find our first character here. Then we'll move our our s.a to this next character, and we'll try to find it, and so on and so forth. We'll just keep doing that. After this, we want to run this for the entire length of our t. So we're going to run this as long as our t.a is less than our t.length. And then we're just going to have our t.a ++ inside of here. That way we can eventually get out of this. Now, s.a is going to be incrementing inside of here. And it's only going to increment if we have this special condition where our current character in the string, so since we're using Java, we'll do s.charAt, and we're going to pass in our index s.a. If the character at the string is equal to, and we can just basically copy this in and paste this in here so we have no mistakes, and we'll change this to s, so this t, so we have the string t.charAt, and then we have t.a. And so we're comparing the characters at these specific indexes. Now, if this is the case, we're going to go inside of here, and what we're going to want to do first is check if we're at the end of our substring. So essentially we're going to say that if we're at the end, meaning that our s.a is equal to our s.length, but -1, because remember, length is 1 more than our index is, and this is starting at 0, length starts at 1, so we have to subtract 1 from it. So if the index is the same, we're at the end, then we are going to want to return true, because that means we've gone through our entire substring. Now, if not, that's totally fine. It could mean that we're just not at the end yet, and then we can just do our s.a ++. And this is where we're going to increment our s.a if it's an equal character to what we have in our main string. Now, if we go through this entire string t, and we do not find anything, we're not going to return true. Now, if we don't return true, we're going to have to come out of here and return false, because this means there's nothing in here. Now, we can also consider the constraints. It's possible that the length of this is going to be equal to 0, our t.length or our s.length. And so let's try to do an if statement where if our one of these two, which is the important one, well, our s, right, because this is the substring, this is also important, so you could make a case for both of them. So we can say if s.length is equal to 0, or our t.length is equal to 0, then we're just going to want to return, I would believe, true. So let's try submitting this and see if this if statement with this for loop and this return is okay. So let's see, we have an issue, t.a. Oh, it does not like that because it's assuming it's a method. So let's change all of these dots to just a regular no dot. So take all the dots out in the for loop, in the if statement, and then in this if statement right here. That's my apologies. I should have been more aware that dot means that you're assuming there's a method or something after that. Okay, and we have a wrong answer, and it's with this if statement. Now, I did say only one of these was important, and this is why. If this returns true, well, we're going to get a difference here. And if it returns false, we're going to get a difference on another one. So we have to pick which one is supposed to return true and which one is supposed to return false. Well, this for loop is going to run basically as long as we have a length of t. So it's possible that we are going to return true if we have some length of t. Otherwise, we are going to return false. So you can see that, let's say t has no length in here, right? Well, if ta starts at 0 and ta has to be t less than t length, but our t length is only 0, it's never going to be in this for loop and it's always going to return false. So this will handle something like this. We don't need to worry about t length inside of here. We can actually just remove this and only consider our s dot length and take care of that in this if statement. The other one will be handled not going through this for loop and just returning false here. So that'll give us a 1 millisecond runtime with about 42 megabytes of memory. And that's how we would do this LeetCode problem, is Subsequence. If you have any questions or if you want to see it in C++, check out the other videos on the channel and the playlist link below the like button.